In For the Night is a podcast that discusses movies, random topics, and gives you an excuse to just stay in for the night. I like how you were mimicking me the entire time.
That was perfect. And I did a
perfect.
phenomenal job, I think.
Yeah, you actually did. It made it sound like my voice was coming out of your face.
It was.
If only people could see that.
I know.
They don't.
No, they don't.
I only see it, and it's not great.
It's great. Don't lie. Don't you dare lie.
I lie. Soothe me with your sweet lies. Futurama, the Jamaican guy on there, I forgot his name. He says something and it keeps me grounded. And I was like, soothe me with your sweet lies. And I'm like, yeah, true.
Grind your gears?
No, that's Peter Griffin from Family Guy. But
same thing.
Oh, you got a lot of head there, Dave.
Did have a lot of head.
I
mean, I wish, but
I just gave you sex. Calm down. The math is like 5 minutes ago. Calm down.
2 different things. Okay.
Great.
Love you.
This got awkward.
God, we got our sexual stuff out.
So, did anybody do it? Did you do your hand jobs? No. Did you masturbate to yourself? That's great. We support. We support.
There
Watch
might be
porn.
kids listening to this.
Watch porn.
There might be kids listening.
Watch porn.
Wow.
Get a vibrator. Enjoy your life.
Or get one of those new I saw one the other day. It was, I don't know why Instagram shows me this shit, but it was one and it was it was the doggy style like doll. It wasn't a doll. It was just basically it had like this much of legs. No one else can see, but it was like an inch of legs.
Oh my god, like they're chopped off?
It just showed the butt.
Oh, so you have to like maneuver it into your
like dick. It was just a doggy style position.
Was the butt like voluptuous or was
it was
like,
it had a very round
it was just not like flat.
And it was just showing the vajayjay right there. And like the person slapped it. It was just like jiggling. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, that's not bad.
Why? I don't know why this shit shows up on my Instagram though. Like I've never once looked at fucking sex anything on the internet.
Are you sure?
Besides porn.
Are you sure?
I mean, not like sex toys. Like I've never looked up sex toys. I don't know why this shit's coming up. I need it because there is an option to like like delete.
I kind of want to get that sex toy just to see it.
What are you gonna do? Finger it?
No, just to look at it and be like, dude, this is what it is.
Wow, we're being X-rated today.
Kind of a little bit.
I hope there's not kids listening to this. So,
dude, we are multiple drinks deep today. It's Sunday. We're recording on Sunday. And so we went and got brunch. I had a couple mimosas. And then we watched the movie. And then I had a couple mimosas during that movie. He had a couple deep beers.
Yeah, I got like some. It's called Boulevard. They actually make like a 12.2% beer.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's good, but it's kind of thick in the mouth.
No, any liquid that you say it's thick that bothers me so much.
You got to emphasize on the CK, thick.
I quit.
So this one today that I got is American Saison, Saison. I guess Season L, but it's just spelled different. Saison. But to me, it tastes like an IPA, and I do not like IPAs.
Okay, folks, I don't drink beer, and I hate beer. I'm smelling it.
It's like an orangey, citrusy like IPA. I mean, it's not bad, but
it smells like
it just has an IPA
American
aftertaste,
orange.
And I don't like it.
And sadness. Beer is sucky. Don't drink beer. Drink
wine.
I
bought it and I had to drink it. So they have another one that is.
The thing is, the reason why you bought it. Why did you buy it instead of the one you liked?
Because I just want to try it.
No.
I want to try something different.
While we were in QT, why did you buy it?
Because it was a 6-pack. And the other one's a 4-pack.
It is a 4-pack.
This lasts longer. I wish I could.
But the thing is, your misery is going to last longer now.
You didn't hear what I said, did you?
I did not. I was not. I was like focused on what I was going to say.
People on the podcast heard it. You can replay it. And you can.
No, what did you say?
I was like, I got a 6-pack. So it will last longer. Something that I wish I could do.
Sure.
We're so bad today.
All right.
Jesus.
No, we've been drinking. It's fine. So we literally recorded yesterday, so we're not going to ask your week. Do you have any questions you want to ask the podcast today? I have a question.
Ask the podcast. You put me on the spot. No.
Okay, so no, I was in the shower today after the gym.
You were? Were you touching yourself, ma'am?
To clean it.
A little play action?
I don't think this is that type of podcast. Like, we need to stop. I'm very... Jesus Christ.
It's a little warm in here, folks.
All right.
So you were showering.
I did. Yes. Very clean. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're sorry.
We apologize. It's
no,
liquid courage.
We're having fun now. I guess. I'm not safe. Somebody call the police. Just kidding. Because by the time you hear this, it's going to be a month away, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm dead. So whatever. No. So while I was in the shower, I have random questions about life, and I'm not high. I wasn't drinking. So this was just a random question that I had.
Okay. What is the question?
I asked you, and you were like, no, maybe. So, sound waves. Okay, obviously they have the sound waves. I hit my microphone. Sorry.
Calm your taters.
I'm very gesturally
clearly.
inclined. Okay, so if it's windy out, do sound waves travel faster or slower? Whichever way they're going.
Obviously, it wouldn't go slower.
But if it's going against the sound waves, would it take longer to hear them? Because if the wind is coming this way and like a motorcycle's coming this way and the sound waves are cutting from the motorcycle.
So let's do a perfect example. Let's do a perfect example. So like when you see an ambulance coming by or a cop car,
they're called an ambulance.
It's like, say if you're going this direction, you're walking on the street and the ambulance is going the opposite direction, you necessarily cannot hear it until it basically gets like right at you and then passes, and then you can hear it. Reason is because the horns, I guess, are not facing in the front.
They're facing
like in the sides and the back.
No, they're facing on the sides.
So you're not going to hear it until it gets pretty close to you.
So the thing is, if wind is cutting through it, though, if it's going, let's say, like you're driving against the ambulance and the wind is at your back, which is a great thing, would it make you not hear it as loud? Because it's pushing it for like against them.
I don't know. That's something to test, I guess. I don't know.
Am I just being
Mythbusters thing?
That's questions I randomly have in life.
But
I'm like, dude, like, because I understand like sound waves, like wind, completely different things. I understand that. But if like I was listening to a motorcycle drive down our main highway that's like right outside our door, I had the window open and I was showering and I could hear the motorcycle and I was like, dude, it's super windy out. Why am I hearing it? I'm like, fuck. Oh, does a wind carry it or make it louder or less?
It proves right there that it doesn't matter.
So I'm wondering, it could have been louder, maybe. or softer, depending on the wind scenario.
See, I don't think wind has any like effect on sound.
The disruption. I'm just wondering if it has a disruption. That's my question. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to deal with that. So if anybody,
pretty damn smart, but
I'm not. If anybody is smart enough to like describe that to me, if you can like lay it out, please email us. You know where to email us. inforthenight69@gmail.com, inforthenightpodcast.com. There we go.
Wow.
But
that was real enthusiastic.
I say it every fucking day. Like fuck. Seriously, you know where to email us. If you know the answer to that question, please email us. Or if you have articles, I will read those articles.
There might be someone new listening to the podcast and they don't know.
Oh shit! But they'll listen to the full of it,
maybe
and
not.
then get to the end.
You know what? That title sounds interesting. I want to listen to that one. And it's like 50 deep in. You never know. Sure.
So welcome to In for the Night. My name is Katie.
My name is G-Dog.
Oh, I thought
G-Dawgarino.
Oh, fuck.
What?
I hate it.
G-Dawgarino.
We need a different name for you. I like Lure better.
Your name is Katie, so we need a different name for you.
I'm cute.
You are, but you need a different fucking name.
Oh, you said it.
That's creepy. Don't ever do that again.
I used to do that to him, and he'd get freaked out because it sounds like a doll.
So thankfully, I think she said this on the podcast. I can't remember. If y'all have seen the movie Smile or the movie Truth or Dare, you know when the fucking demon has that like creepy ass big fucking smile? She said she was going to do it while I'm like asleep one day. And I told her if she did, I was going to take a beer bottle and hit her upside the head with it. So thankfully, she has not done it because that's fucking creepy. Stop.
Oh, sorry. What was I doing?
Stop. That is creepy. Super fucking creepy.
I was smiling at him.
That's dangerous. That's gross. Anyway, so meat and potatoes. Stop it. Fucking creepy.
I actually did not look this up before, so we have to give me 2 seconds.
Look
okay.
Up what?
Well, okay.
You're supposed to be prepared. You're supposed to be prepared, and you're slacking.
I hit the side button.
You are slacking.
See, the thing is, this one does not have the typical like breakdown of what we normally do.
It's an hour-long movie.
So it's an hour-long movie. You're welcome. So this is actually a good movie if you just want to kill time for an hour. Really good movie, but it doesn't have the typical breakdown of like what is it? Rotten Potatoes, Google users. So
I can still read the synopsis.
Penis peni.
Excuse me. So this should be a fairly reasonably decently amounted short podcast, not an hour and 20 minutes.
Or it will be because I have a lot to cover.
So that means it's going to be longer, is what you're saying.
It's going to be 4 hours.
Oh my God! People just shut your radios off right now.
I'm kidding. No, don't stop.
We have Dybbuk Box, the story of Chris Chambers. And the synopsis.
Penis peni.
After seeing viral videos of Dybbuk Box openings trending on YouTube, Texas resident Chris Chambers ordered a Dybbuk Box from the dark web and opened it on live video. The results were near fatal as his condition progressively worsens and his encounters with the demonic forces escalates day by day, or by the day. Currently documented as one of the most supernatural recorded events to date.
Right.
So this is legit?
I think it is legit because I was trying to look him up and ask him for an interview. It has no interviewees. He's just showing on shit. Take a shot. Oh my God, guys. You had a long time.
You had a long time. 13 minutes. I think that's like the
dog
longest yet.
is chewing on something, so take a shot.
The longest yet. So apparently this is supposed to be based on...
Because on the actual, the credits when it was rolling on the movie, it had Chris Chambers as
his friend himself.
Sarah as herself. And literally, those are the only two people in this movie. So there's two people in the movie, and I'm like... Maybe legitimate.
It said himself and himself. So that means that's actually what Chris looks like too.
I mean, okay, that I support that. I love that.
Sarah had a pretty deep voice, but
she had a raspy, sexy ass voice.
Pretty deep voice.
All right, so before we start, I'm going to look up Dybbuk Box definition, just so everybody knows what a Dybbuk Box is. Okay, so Dybbuk Box. The Dybbuk Box, or Dybbuk, it's spelled Dybbuk box, or Dibbuk box, is a wine cabinet, awesome, claimed to be haunted by a Dybbuk, a concept from Jewish mythology. The box gained notoriety when it was auctioned off on eBay by an owner, Kevin Manis, who created a story featured Jewish Holocaust survivors and paranormal claims as of the eBay item.
So I like the definition that they give in the actual movie who's seen it. Chris says that a Dybbuk box is a box that is basically sealed to contain a entity in it that is stuck between our world and the living world and death world. I like that definition better than whatever the fuck that was.
Okay, so literally the Dybbuk Box. Okay, we went to see the Dybbuk Box in Zach Bagans Museum. Very straightforward box. Nothing really creepy happened when we were there. But the thing is, you don't want to piss it off. So the thing is, that Dybbuk Box was from the Holocaust. It was a wine cabinet from the Holocaust. So that specific wine box, which I think that was the definition for that Dybbuk Box, was for that specific box because it was a wine box and it contained the souls from the Holocaust. Don't quote me on that. Please do not be upset because literally it was super haunted. Everybody who owned it either had tragedy in it or had shit happen. And so once it Zach Bagans got it, it was in its own little room. And then apparently his friend Post Malone touched it and his plane went down literally the day after.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Something. It was Post Malone, right?
I don't know. It was a friend of his. I don't know if
it was a rapper. It was a rapper. I'm not sure if it was Post Malone. I'm sorry. I'm not well versed on that because I find it. But I remember watching the video of this guy looking at it, and then he poked his finger at it. I was like, why would you piss it off? Why would you piss that shit off?
Because just people just
so
don't
same
know.
With like Peggy the doll. I respect you, love you, girl. You're out there. But we went to the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum the day after we were flying, and I'm like, we shouldn't play with that. We should not play with that because
I didn't at all.
So the thing is, if you don't know what Peggy the doll is, she can haunt you just by saying her name. Sorry, guys. Cross yourself. Say hi, Peggy. Goodbye, Peggy. That'll make your life better. But
well, make sure you say it too.
No, seriously. Every single plane ride I get on, I say hi, Peggy. Goodbye, Peggy. Every single plane ride.
Oh, because you conversed with it. I did not.
Yeah, I did not. But the thing is, when we got there, so everybody got in our group. That they walked in. We had 3 people who did not go into that room with Peggy. There was me and Ty, and then, actually 4 people. Frank, his brother, and then this random girl who was a stripper. And she was saying, yeah, whoever, it's an occupation. Awesome. Good job. But the thing is, the girl was talking, and she's like, I don't want to see Peggy. I don't want to see Peggy. And it's like, oh. And then we were walking past it to get around the room, and she was like, hi, Peggy. And she's like, whore. You could hear it through the walls.
Peggy screamed out whore to her when she said hi, Peggy. It was pretty hardcore.
You have to respect the spirits, okay? And so she got really frazzled after that. She was not very brave throughout the whole entire house, but when she got to that, she got real freaked out. And so we're just like, no worries, it's fine. But just respect anything that might be spiritual. Say hello,
whether
goodbye.
Y'all don't believe in it or not, it's just not a path that you want to go down, I guess.
Yeah, and even Ouija boards, just if you play Ouija, I say play because it's technically a board game. Technically, because Mattel came out with it back in the 1950s. So just make sure you say hello, goodbye. If random shit happens, make sure you close that shit out. But so let's get to it. All right. So literally, I wanted to say, what is a Dybbuk box? Literally, we explained it. In the movie, he says it's something that contains the spirit of whatever vitality that it is. And the thing that I find fascinating, I don't know if it was actually a real thing, Dybbuk Box challenge. Was that a real thing?
I've never heard of it.
Okay. It's probably not a real thing. But I was like, dude, I would have been up on that.
I mean, maybe, but I've never heard of that because I've heard of the Tide Pod challenge. I've heard of the other one is ice challenge, all these other challenges. But I never heard of the Dybbuk Box challenge.
But maybe it's not big enough, but I would play that game. So,
of course you would.
So I put on here, maybe we should do a Dybbuk Box enterprise and make our own Dybbuk boxes and close them with wax and pee on them and sell them. I thought that would have been.
If we have a selling point, to do, you shouldn't say it on this.
We're not going to actually do it because that's a lot of work for me. So why would I do that?
You never know.
I'm just saying that's a Dybbuk Box
you're giving
enterprise.
other people like the option to do it and become rich and famous. So, anywho, continue.
Sure. All right. So we meet Chris Chambers. He is taking a video. As you all know, I love found footage. This is a found footage situation, but it's not jittery. It's not any of that bullshit. I know some people don't like the movement of found footage. This one is very centralized. Either it's mounted in his house or he has it like posted somewhere. It's not like him moving, so you don't have to worry about that. So he is talking about getting a Dybbuk box, and so he's searching the dark web. And he's scrolling, and there's different options for a Dybbuk box. And then this one showed up, which is actually very, very true. Because if you get a real Dybbuk box, you cannot sell it. And it's actually very true. Like, you can't sell it because it won't transition. It'll still haunt the original owner until you trade it. Because trading is different than selling. So when they were talking about it, it was talking about how it was not in cash, it was in Bitcoin, which you have to have Bitcoin to transition that like trade. So this Dybbuk box that he wanted to buy, it was only $250 or Bitcoin. Maybe?
No, if it was 250 Bitcoin, that's a lot of fucking Bitcoin.
I don't know the transfer.
It was $250.
$250.
So they just transitioned that over to Bitcoin.
Some Dybbuk boxes were really expensive, like $8,000,
yeah,
$10,000.
one was like $8,000, which was probably a fucking bullshit.
But this one was. But the thing is that caught his eye was very true. A Dybbuk box you can't sell; you have to trade. Because that's how spirits do. You can't buy a spirit. You have to trade it. And it adheres to you. So that's, again, something that I thought was really interesting in this movie because, again, very true. Like, you can buy a Dybbuk box, and if you open it up, it's not going to do shit to you until you trade for it. So it's still going to haunt the original owner until fucking you transfer it. So he gets this Dybbuk box, and however he trades for it, for Bitcoin or money or whatever. And 2 weeks later, we have the opening. That's what I posted that as. And that's like a full page. So you guys, this is an hour-long movie, and I have a full page of notes, front and back. So buckle up. All right, so he gets this Dybbuk box. And he receives it. What is his first notations of it?
That it smells.
What does it smell like?
It smells like piss.
Like our bedroom today.
No, our bedroom does not smell like piss. No,
it did. All right. So today, guys, sidebar. I went to the gym. Our room smelled fine. I was like, cool, changed, went to the gym, came back, walked into the room. It smelled straight up piss. I was like, fuck, who, on Thrift Shop, the song Thrift Shop.
I love that song. I need to download that, actually.
What is the guy who's like, piss R. Kelly sheets?
Yeah, it's Macklemore. And he's talking
saying R. Kelly sheets, right?
That smell so, like
piss.
Yeah, because supposedly R. Kelly would like piss on his girls or whatever.
Oh, that's gross. All right, so R. Kelly sheets. R. Kelly sheets. That's what we had. So, but the thing is, nobody else smelled it. I smelled it. I was like, dude, it smells like piss. It like as soon as you walked in the door, it hit my face like a ton of bricks, and I was like, I cannot live in this.
From what I know, there's no Dybbuk box in his house, so I don't know what you were smelling, but it did not smell like piss. So.
All right, so he's opening the box. He opened the box, and he said, even before he opened the cardboard box around the box, he said it smelled like piss. He opened it, and he was like, yeah, it smells really bad. And then after he pulls it out of the cardboard box, he's like, oh, I feel a presence. And then he does something really smart. All right. He pulls out his EMF reader. So it's electromagnetic field reader. So this thing will see if there's a different charge in the air. So if you put it up to your microwave, it'll go off. Like stove go off.
Probably a refrigerator.
Like anything that does electromagnetic waves, it'll go off. But if you have it just sitting on your coffee table, it shouldn't go off. If it goes off, that's not healthy for you. Definitely check that out. But he put it to his pillow. He put it to himself. He put it all over around him. And then he just had it on sitting next to the box. And then he put it up to the box. Holy shit, it went off. And then the thing is, he would pull it away, and about a foot and a half, 2 feet away, it would stop.
So it was like a big range of aura.
The aura around this box is about 2 feet. He would pull it off and then do it. He did it all around the box. He was very adamant about making sure that it was the entire box. Like, I liked that about him. And so then the next weapon he pulls out, my favorite. Do you remember?
Something box.
Spirit box.
Spirit box.
All right. So this is something I really, really want. If anybody has a random spirit box laying around, send it to me because I want it hardcore. All right, so a spirit box is something that I'm just going to go into the background of it because some people don't know what a spirit box is. So if you've never watched a ghost hunting expedition, spirit box is something that literally is a little device that you click on, and it shifts from radio frequency to radio frequency really, really fast. And so what happens is that energy creates something that the ghost can talk through. So it keeps on it keeps on shifting through the radio frequencies really, really, really fast. And then the ghosts you can hear them. So what I suggest is if you do have a spirit box, single syllables are not okay because sometimes you can hit actual radio, like broadcast, I guess that's what it's called, a radio broadcast. You have to have multiple frequencies that answer questions. So if you ask a question, answers in one syllables, but it's like not really clear, ask another question. Make sure that you get that clarity from that because you need multiple syllables. If it's one syllable, it doesn't work. All right, so clearing that out. So he brought out a spirit box and he asked multiple questions. Oh, is there a ghost in here? There's nothing. Is there a spirit in here? There's nothing. Is there a demon in here?
Is there a demonic presence? Yes.
It said yes. And then
You skipped the part already.
What did I skip?
Oh, no, never mind.
And so then he started talking to it, and then it said help. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, "Oh, what is your name?" And then the spirit box said, "How can you hear me?" Mm-hmm. That freaks me out a little bit because it's in the box. Yeah, I get it, but how can you hear me? That means it knows.
Yeah, because it's obviously asking questions.
All right. So then we get to the point where he's about to open it, and he's like, something's telling me not to open this. And then...
Clearly, you shouldn't open it.
Ty, do you remember what you said?
Yes. So he kept referring to the demon as a he, and I was like...
No. That's not it.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about then.
You said, you're white.
Oh.
So we have this running joke that I'm white. I'm going to go into the forest. I'm going to search for shit. And Ty was like, you're white. Obviously, you're going to open it.
Yeah, obviously, you're going to open it. Because he kept saying, he's like, every part of my being is telling me not to open this, but he fucking opens it anyway. And it's like, that's usually a sign. If something's telling you not to open it, guess what? Don't open it. But he opens it anyway.
But the thing is, sometimes the best things
there's nothing best that comes out of that. No. 100% not.
All right. But you have to support his next decision here.
Which is?
He put on gloves.
The fuck? Like, that really is going to matter.
Because he was like, in case of demonic transfer. So, that was cool. That was good.
How is that cool? Like, if the demon wants to, possess him or assault him or do anything to him, it's going to do it. Like, no matter if he has gloves on or not. Like, that part is... I mean, I get it. Yeah, I would have put gloves on.
You would have put gloves on by the time you pulled it out of the fucking...
I would have put gloves on when I fucking picked up the cardboard box with the box in it. Like, I would have had gloves on.
You would not even be around.
That is very true. For one, I would have never fucking ordered one. So.
I would have.
Of course you would. You know why?
Because I'm white.
Yes! Ding, 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 ding.
So everybody, just so you know, Ty is black. I'm very white.
Porcelain.
And we watched this funny video where it's like, I'll give you $200 if you can tell me something a white person to a black person wouldn't. And this white dude comes up and he's like, did you hear that? What is that?
Did you hear that creepy dark noise from that super dark forest where 17 birds that came from?
Yeah. I'm going to check it out. All right.
Exactly right there.
That's me.
That's like the premise of what...
That's a premise of me because I'm not scared of shit.
You should be.
I go head first into it and I'm like, dude, my gusto should scare people.
And that's exactly why she's going to probably end up not alive in the next 5 years because she's going to go check something out. It's like, for y'all who have seen movies,
any movie.
And if you've seen a movie with like majority of black folks and white folks in it, which that's usually what they are anyway, and you hear a noise that you shouldn't normally hear in your house, like 95% of the time, the white person's like, oh, I need to go fucking figure out what's going on in the house.
Oh, what's happening?
But then you see, like, when it's the black person, they're like, fuck no, I'm not going to go check that out.
No, but okay. Sidebar, halfway through this movie, a noise came and you're like, oh, fuck, Nelly went outside. So, what did we do?
I went to go check it out.
We went to go check it out, but you were first.
I was first. I got up the couch first.
Don't even start with me.
Yeah, because this is different. This is me being the head of the household, and
I like how you have bunny ears around it. Head of the household.
Yeah, head of the household.
Honey, no.
Yes.
No. Okay, cool.
See, very much so.
Okay, so he had gloves.
I don't have gloves.
So what he does is he put his EMF reader against the box. He did it around the box. I don't know if you mentioned that before.
Yeah, you already mentioned that.
Yeah, okay.
Skipping forward.
So he puts it against the box, and then he uses his little X-Acto knife and opens the wax.
There you go.
Because the wax is supposed to close all openings.
It seals it.
It seals it. So he cuts around the wax, and he's like, oh, God, I shouldn't open this, but it did. Okay, he did. And so he opens it.
No, time out. So before he started opening it, he put his little EMF reader next to it, and it was beeping the whole time. Take a shot. Fifi just jumped on my lap. No, Fifi. We're doing a podcast. And he had the EMF sitting next to the box as he was, opening up, taking the seal off. And it kept going off as soon as the box opened a millimeter. It stopped.
It stopped.
It stopped.
Literally stopped.
It whatever was in there jumped out immediately, and
like, hey boys,
EMF reader was like, oh, well, nothing around here anymore, so I'm just going to shut off now.
And so what was in the box? Creepy. So that's super creepy. And so he starts pulling out. Again, with his gloved hands. Locket of hair.
It was don't tell me. It was a rosebud, like a dried up rosebud. Okay. It was some fucking thing that we still don't even know what it was. Let's just say it was, I don't even know. It looked kind of like a rock, but it was like flimsy. It was flimsy.
We don't even know what it is.
We don't know. He never told us what it was. And then it was a piece of paper with Hebrew written on it that we find out later.
Yeah, you'll find out later. So there's different things in there.
And there was like ash or something kind of like at the bottom, and he was rolling the box around so you can hear it like sliding to corner to corner.
Piling on that, the box was hot. It was warm.
Oh, yeah. And he was saying when he was taking everything out,
he was like, it's
everything
hot.
was warm to the touch.
So after he kind of pulls everything out and puts it on the side, the light next to him starts to flicker. And he's like, that's never happened before.
Yeah, because it is out and about now.
And so then this is what I mentioned. He has a good sense of style. Because his apartment
his apartment was very clean.
Well put together.
No dishes. The living room was immaculate. Bedroom was immaculate.
He had nice couches. He had
his
pillows.
Apartment very, very clean and tidy for sure. And normally a guy's, especially living by themselves, does not look like that.
So I wanted to have a mental break for that because I was like, damn, he has matching guy. Shit. Like everything, it looks really nice. And so did it do? Oh
my God.
Stuff in a box, but not out. All right. So he was doing the spirit box and he was like, oh, if you don't want me to talk to you, tell me to stop. Or give me a sign to stop. And that's when his
big ass freaking poster or picture on the wall falls.
Picture falls down. And he's like, if you recall.
That demon does not want to talk to him.
So he leaves and then he, the video cuts out and then it comes back. And he's like, oh, the stuff is back in the box.
Yeah, so he goes into the bedroom. And he's trying to look up what the lettering was on the postcard or whatever.
Yeah.
And while he's talking to the camera, he ends up hearing a close or something. So he goes out there and the stuff he says is y'all know when I left the room, I put the stuff in the box.
There's two scenarios of that. Before
he put it in the box.
No, he didn't put it in the box.
Yes, he did. He put it. He said the first one he put it in the box, and he comes out. It was out the box. Then he goes back into the room. He comes out again, and it was back in the box.
Oh, okay. I might have missed that. Mixed that up. So that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
And then the box gets closed, and I'm like, I don't like that. All right, so the words on the piece of paper. So there's a piece of paper in the box that had writing on it. I am not going to try to say anything of that because I don't know how it's pronounced, but it is in Hebrew and it's meaning to be freed or
released.
Released.
See, that's weird that is in the box.
Right.
Why would that be? I thought it was the name of the entity that was in the box.
I was thinking that or a binding.
Yeah, binding,
ritual.
But to be freed or released, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why would that be in the box? That was weird.
But
I have zero explanation
for that.
Maybe
the person who wrote it is being freed from the demon who got.
All right, yeah, I like that.
That's a good.
That makes sense.
So
because that's the only.
But it has to be Hebrew, so it has to be a Jewish person. So again, a Dybbuk box. So a Dybbuk box is very Jewish. Hebrew.
Well, I know witches are usually not American, so I don't know any American witches. Granted, I don't know any witches in general, but
okay. Well,
what you know an American witch? Oh, you? Is that what you're gonna say?
Witches in America? Really, Salem? You don't know Salem? Massachusetts.
Yes, I know Salem.
New Orleans. Really, the voodoo queens there.
That doesn't mean they're American. Just because they're in New Orleans.
Okay.
Where does voodoo originate from?
Africa.
Thank you.
The generations that have lived in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Talk to your mom about it. She would definitely have a deep conversation.
It's not American based, though.
It's not American based.
That's what I'm saying.
But it is
It's in America, yes, but it's not American based, is what I'm saying.
We are having issues.
Yes, we are, because you know I'm right.
True. But the thing is, we have American witches.
Yeah, I get that. But witches are not based out of the United States. They come from
They can
somewhere
be conjured
else.
from America, yes. You can be an American witch. I could be a witch tomorrow. I am a witch. Whee!
Again, I get there can be witches in America, but witches do not originate from America. Like, the very first witch was not from America, is what I'm saying.
True.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, no.
No, they're not. Nope. I don't believe it.
Navajo, they have their witch doctors.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
I win. Yay. I always
pissing
win.
Lala off. She's getting up.
I always win. All right. So, where were we? So,
I don't know.
The lamp flickered. Heat was coming from the box. It was very crazy. And we talked about how he had a good sense of style. All right. So, he goes and tries to look at the thing, and we learn about the Hebrew. He had, it was to be freed. We said that. And so after he's like reading about it online, he goes out and the box is closed after bringing it, approaching it opened. So before all the items went into the box.
No, all the items came out of the box.
No. The items were.
Babe, I promise you 100%.
Okay.
Before he went into the room, he put them in the box and closed it. He was in the room looking up the Hebrew. He comes out. They're on the table, like nice. Like it was like the whatever that thing was is here. The rosebud, the hair, and then the fucking paper outside. And then he leaves the room, comes back out, and it's in the box again.
And it's closed.
Closed.
All right. So we can agree.
And he's like freaking the fuck out because it was like boop boop. Like someone took it out and then put it back in.
Like they were sitting there doing it.
Yeah,
really,
I would be like, yeah, fuck this, I'm out.
Really? I would have been like, fuck yeah, that's awesome.
I would be gone, 100%. I would not be in that apartment anymore.
You would not have been in the apartment if the Dybbuk Box entered it.
If I was with that guy's roommate and I would have came home from work like, fuck, I'm tired, I want a beer. And I see him there with a Dybbuk Box about to open it. I'm like sayonara, peace, bro. You're on your own, homie. And I would leave and go stay in the fucking hotel.
Yeah. But good luck in New Orleans. But the thing is, it is actually in Texas. So
yeah,
you're welcome.
Well, I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna go more. Okay, so in the middle of the night, or at night, he does a spirit box.
Buys cameras and puts them up, or is that after?
Yeah, that's later. So right now he does a spirit box, and Fifi is here. Take a shot.
Continue talking, baby.
No, everybody has to take a shot because Fifi's here. So he does a spirit box session of like the box like in his living room, and he sits there and he's doing it, and he's like, "Oh, hey, do you want to talk to me?" This spirit is fucking snarky. I put that snarky spirit because he's like, "Oh, do you want to talk to me?" It says no, and then, "Oh, what do you want?"
Did you notice though? He asked its names multiple times.
Yeah, and it didn't say it because you're not supposed to know.
No, yeah, you're not supposed to know because that means you have power over the demon.
It. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't give the name, like the spirit's name. So he asked a bunch of questions, and it was very snarky. And you can watch it and watch his like rundown of that. That was hilarious. How can you go? Oh, so you asked this question. Do you remember what you asked as he was going to bed?
No, because I already said one thing and I was wrong. So
how can you go to bed after releasing a demon?
Yeah, I would not be able to fucking sleep after opening up a Dybbuk Box in the apartment or house. I would not be able to sleep. And he couldn't.
Well, yeah,
because apparently the demon, whoever he is, kept poking him. As soon as he would fall asleep, he said he would feel a poke.
Like it was poking him repeatedly. But the thing is, if you believe it or you don't believe it,
I 100% believe it.
If you, whatever happens. If you go to bed and you're like, oh, I released something, I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed. If it doesn't let you sleep, that's one thing. If it lets you sleep, that's another thing.
It's not going to.
But how would you know that until you go to sleep?
Okay, so for one, we don't know how long this entity was trapped in this box.
True.
So it's going to want to fuck with someone, and he released it, so he's like, no, playtime now. That damn demon, and plus demons don't sleep.
And
they are awake
doing the little fingery
24/7,
things.
365 days of the year, they're awake. So they're not going to let someone sleep in a house. They're going to fuck with you. It's like a little kid in a candy store. Except
true. That's
Chris
a very
is the candy store.
poor Chris. I feel so bad for Chris, but he was dumbass who opened it. So,
was.
but I would be that
all
dumbass.
You would be. 100%.
I would be that dumbass.
1,000%.
100%.
You wouldn't even be like, oh, I don't feel like opening it. You like fucking Christmas time.
Okay, great.
You've been ripping that bitch open.
We're like, hey guys, hey bud. Jesus. All right, that's where I'm at. All right, so we're at nighttime. He is
dark time.
Dark time.
Dark time, not nighttime.
So this is before he puts up all the cameras in his apartment.
Still? He did that pretty quick. Yet.
No, because we only have one camera in the living room when the light popped.
After the first night, and that's when he saw.
Stop! Let me.
Sorry. My apologize.
So the living room light popped, and then the box fell off the coffee table.
Yeah.
And then the thermostat went to 47 degrees.
That's when he woke up.
That's when he woke up, and he was like, dude, I have it set at 73.
48.
48, and then it went to 47.
Went down to 47 in the middle of like looking at it. So that shit was still dropping.
And so that has actually happened to our house because like we have like a twisty thing, which you can hit easily and move it, but we have not hit it. Yeah,
but like bumping it, it won't go that far. Like it might move a little bit.
If I'm going to the bedroom, it should hit it higher, not lower.
Yeah. If you're coming from the bedroom to the living room, yeah. But going to the bedroom,
it should be
higher.
It
will go up. But even then, if you barely bump into it, it won't move that much.
So that's a thing, because one time I went to bed, everything was normal, and he came home at 7:30, maybe. It was like a Saturday or Friday or something. In the morning, and he was like, why is it 50 degrees?
It was fucking cold
freezing.
in the house.
I was freezing. I went to the bathroom. I just thought it was in my head, and I was like, dude, I'm cold, but I'm always cold, so it doesn't matter.
Like, it actually gives me chills, because like I came home, and I was going to take all my shoes, put the stuff in the kitchen. I was going to let the dogs out so they can go potty. And I went into my office for some reason, and it's normally cold in my office, but it was like extremely fucking cold in there. I was like, what is going on? I was like, this is not normal. Went to the freaking thermostat, shine a light on it, and it was 50 degrees in the house. I was like, the fuck? I went into the bedroom, and she kind of woke up, because I wasn't gonna say anything until she woke up, and she like woke up. I was like, babe, did you change the thermostat? She's like, no. I was like, guess what fucking degrees it is in here? It's like, it's 50 fucking degrees in here.
And that's when I said I was freezing. Yeah. I was like, cold as fucking ice.
Because like I bumped into it before, and I looked at it, and it does not change that much.
No, it'll change a couple degrees, but it's like
not
you don't
20, 25 degrees.
No, it was crazy. And so that's where I'm like, okay, something fucked with us. Like trying to make me seem crazy, because I'm always cold.
You are always cold. But this, you had a legit reason to be cold.
And I'm sitting there cuddled under my blanket, and I'm like, I'm not leaving. I'm so fucking cold.
It was freezing.
The dogs were on the bed, and I don't normally let the dogs on the bed, but they were on the bed, and they were just like sitting there. Like Fifi was shivering, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with.
Yeah, they get cold easily too, because they have zero fur.
I felt so bad. Anyway, so we're gonna go back to Chris Chambers. So his thermostat was at 47, which is awful. And so we both actually had a question throughout this movie. What is his profession?
Yeah, like he never goes to work. You never see him work. You never see him work from home. Like, the fuck does this guy do? He's pretty young. Like, he's maybe early 30s, mid 30s.
Maybe he's retired. Maybe he did, like, he sold, like,
retired, something. Living in that place? No. If he was retired and he was, like, a millionaire, he would have at least a house.
Maybe, maybe not. Some people don't care about, like...
He would not be living in an apartment.
I don't know. I don't know what's your profession, Chris. Let us know. So we're going to move on. So it's nighttime again, and it's crash. That's what I put. And it's the pic fell again. So the picture in the living room fell over again. Mm-hmm. So it fell off the wall and was like leaning nicely, and then it fell over again. This is when you get it on video. The window shades open on their own.
Yeah, that was creepy. That was super creepy.
And then now the temperature is 120 degrees. So from 47 to 73 to fucking 120. And then slowly the door opens.
Oh, yeah. So this is when he's putting up the cameras.
So he's putting up the cameras now.
He put one up in his kitchen. He put one up in the living room. Or no, he already had one in the living room. He put one up in somewhere. And then he's putting up one in his bedroom. And I was like, too, because he was right in the camera. So I was too busy like looking at him.
He liked the drill because it had a light on it. Yeah, and he was like, man, that's a really nice drill.
Badass. That's how you know you're a mechanic, when you like a fucking drill in a movie. But anyway, I was like, oh, that drill's fucking awesome. I want it. And then he's like, and it shows up in words, and it like, he cuts the scene. He's like, did y'all happen to see the door open? And we're like,
we did not, because we were distracted.
And we like look at it again, and sure enough, he's like putting up the camera, and the door just
wide
opens.
Open.
Yeah.
And so this is when he calls his friend Sarah, and he's like, hey, would you be comfortable doing an interview tomorrow? Come over.
Not really interview, just kind of like
come over and just see shit.
What's going on.
All right. And so she agrees. So tomorrow. But this is when Ty says something very woke. I'm going to keep on saying the word woke because I feel like that's legitimate. So he was talking about, Ty is literally talking about the demon. You let him out. She, ... it, ... I don't know what his pronouns are.
Shit, I don't know what his pronouns are.
So he was like nudged by me. He was like, I don't know what the demon's pronouns are. Like he was trying to like be inclusive. You know?
So I was trying to be polite to it.
I felt very proud of you in that moment because that's very awesome. And so now we're at night and we see Chris is sleeping. The lamp is moving on his nightstand, and then in the next morning, there's no hot water. Absolutely none. In the shower, in the sink, nothing. Like there's no hot water. And so this is when Sarah comes over. Dun dun dun. I was waiting for you to do that, and you didn't do it, and I'm sad.
I did it now. Sorry. I apologize.
So I want a spirit box. So if anybody has a spirit box and like wants to share videos of what you've done and has answers, legit answers, like send them because we will put them on Patreon. We will put them on whatever we have and like blow you up. So let's do it. But so when Sarah's there, the spirit box is going and Chris is asking about, oh, you didn't let me sleep. And they answered, the creepiest thing you could say, we don't sleep.
That happened before.
No. That is literally during their spirit session. So he's like, talking about, are you the one that's keeping me awake? And then he said, like, they say, we don't sleep. And then Sarah's like, do you know who the Shadow Man is? And they say the name Roger, or like... Whoa.
So, I mean, she's skipping a few things.
Not really.
You are skipping a few things because they were asking questions that were not personable and the demon was not answering. They said, do you want to talk? It said no again. Right. And then, so they said it was like 30 minutes had gone by and the demon wasn't responding. So then that's when they got a little bit more personable. And that's when Sarah asked, how old was I when a
shadow man
was there staring in my room? And the demon says 10. And then she asks, okay, who was this shadow man? Do you know who this shadow man was? And it says Roger. And she like flips the fuck out.
And so the camera cuts out and there's words that come up on the screen that say who Roger was. Again, I'm not going to reveal that because you need to watch the movie because it's an hour long. You can watch it.
Yeah, it's super short, but it's a good short hour.
But watch that. It's terrifying. There's so many random things going on now. All right, so Chris Chambers was walking around his apartment. He was actually watching TV. And then apparently the EMF was going crazy. So the spirit, like the thing, and then he would walk around his apartment and the EMF would go crazy. Like it would stop going crazy and then it'd go crazy. And then he would walk a different area and stop going crazy. You remember that, right?
I do. You said it kind of weird, though. But
no, it was really crazy.
So a little simplified explanation, because it could be confusing. I know what you mean, babe, but they might not. So he's like, guys, I got to show you something. And he basically goes to his kitchen. He sits down. He grabs the EMF reader. And he's like, watch this. He turns it on. And it's like fucking going ape shit right near his body. Remember in the very beginning, it didn't do that near his body. It was only doing it to the box. And then after he let it out, it didn't do it. So obviously the spirit is like right there with him. He's like, now watch this. He gets up and he walks like to the living room. And as soon as he gets up and starts walking, it stops. And he gets to the living room. He sits down and he's like, just wait. Like 5 seconds goes by. It started going ape shit again. He's like, all right, now watch. He gets up, goes into the bedroom. So he walks a little bit further and he's like, all right, now watch. He sits down on his chair and he sitting there. About 10 seconds goes by and it starts going ape shit again. He's like, it's fucking following me. So now this entity, whatever it is, whoever it is like not attached to him, but it's like attached to him to the point where it's following him around wherever he goes.
And so at this moment, you mentioned something. You said something about being the spirit. Bro, stop walking away.
The spirit is just trying to like be one with him.
He just
and he
wants
keeps
to chill.
walking away. So the spirit's like, hey, bro, like, I'm trying to hang out with you, bud. What are you doing?
Stop. I want to be near you.
Stop walking away.
All right. So then we go to a video of his bedroom, and his bed is shaking crazy like, and then all of a sudden the ceiling fan falls on
top of the fan, just falls on the bed
randomly, and so he just moves it off his bed. He doesn't
even attempt to put it back up.
No, I wouldn't attempt to put it back up either. True. So to
probably
be honest,
just fall again.
No. All right, so we're getting to the end where this is what I commented as, oh my. So the lights are flickering. Chris is starting to feel sick. He is wandering around aimlessly, and then all of a sudden he goes into the kitchen, grabs a glass, and he takes a drink of water and
pours water and then slams it on his head.
Against his head. Slammed glass into his head. That is what I wrote. And then at the end, he's staring into the camera for very long periods of time.
Yeah, he stares into the camera for like 2 hours, and then at the end, before the camera cuts off, you see him throw his head back and open his mouth, and you see like either a spirit going in him or coming out.
It's crazy.
It's hard to tell because it like as soon as he does it, it cuts off, and it's like, and they say after that, like the footage throughout the whole house was like corrupted, like it was just there was no good camera view, footage, I guess.
Yeah.
So then, surprisingly, he, I guess, comes to and he ends up moving out of the apartment, which he should have did as soon as he opened the fucking box, and he moves in with his parents. Video. Oh yeah, he has one more video, and all it says was he looks terrible. Like
he looks like shit.
Before his last like couple postings, he looked like shit, and he says, "I don't feel like Chris anymore." So I'm pretty sure what happens when he tilts his head back is that demon, whatever it is, he gets possessed. So then he ends up like leaving the apartment and he moves in with his parents. And they said that there was like really no footage after that. It was like the family was like just happy about like releasing the footage and all that. And it was like for informational purposes. But if he got possessed,
he still is possessed.
That means he's still fucking possessed.
But he's just like acting normal with his family.
Yeah, so something's going to pop off one day.
In this hour-long movie, we have so many questions that I feel like there may be a Dybbuk Box, the Chris Chambers story 2.0.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, there has to be. Like, his unless if they're recording it, but like he's obviously possessed and he moves in with his parents. Like, that's fucking scary.
So... moving on, what do you give this movie?
I give it a 10. It was good.
Really?
Yeah. Like this is like probably one of your best found. I mean, besides Paranormal Activities, which those are always good.
Love it.
But like this one was a good one. I mean, there wasn't like you say camera shaking because you don't like that. I mean, it was just straight to the point. Fucking guy opens up the Dybbuk box and all hell broke loose.
It was short. It was to the point, and I loved it. So I'm going to give it a 10 too.
Yeah, it was a good watch, and apparently it's like a real thing, I guess. So
apparently, so again, what it's called, Dybbuk Box: The Chris Chambers Story. You can watch it on Tubi. So if you haven't watched it yet, definitely do it. It's only an hour long, literally an hour. Yeah. Literally an hour.
It's pretty interesting for sure.
So now we're gonna go to your topic.
Yes, thank the heavens.
Wow! Well, you gave it a 10, dude.
I did, but I mean, it's an hour already. Anyway, so I'm gonna start with my personal experience that just happened like this past time flying. So I was flying. Everyone knows I work for American, so I do fly standby for free. Lala, what are you doing?
Do not pee on here.
Sorry, she was sniffing around like she might need to use it or something. So I fly standby, and I just got to. Oh, I just flown from Tulsa to DFW, and I was coming through TSA. No, wait, I was flying somewhere. I can't remember. Basically, I was going through security. And this lady was standing, like, they were searching her bag. Her bag finally came through. And they're like, yeah, ma'am, like, it came up as, like, a little bing or whatever on our system. We got to check your bag. So they start going through her bag. And the first thing the lady finds, like, she's not even 30 seconds in looking at her bag. She finds a pocket knife.
Yeah, you told me that.
A fucking pocket knife. And everyone who flies know you cannot take a pocket knife. And it was her carry-on. It wasn't a check bag. Yeah. It was a carry-on. You cannot take a pocket knife on the plane. Like, you can check it, just like you can check guns, you can check ammo, you can check, power tools, whatever. But you cannot take a pocket knife on the plane. And the lady says, I fly a lot, so I use it for protection.
No, you don't fly a lot.
Protection from what? Like, as someone's going to, like, try to take over the plane, you're going to open up the fucking overhead bin and pull out your bag and then get your pocket knife? Get the fuck out of here. Like, dumb. Like, I don't know what happened because I was trying to hurry. Oh, I think it was when I was in DFW. I can't remember where I was going. But anyway, so I just thought that was, like, that's what actually made me think of this topic was – I know there's a million fucking stories out there.
We can do this again, too.
Oh, yeah. We can 100% do this again.
So I did a mix between TSA as well as, like, airplane stories, and because I thought they were both hilarious. And I got these from a lot from Reddit, and then most
Reddit has a
literally
shit ton
read it
that.
all the way through. So just citing that source. So my first one is very long, and then the rest I try to make shorter because it shouldn't be that long. But this one was hilarious. All right, so it's labeled Flight Education Gone Wrong. I worked in an airport for 15 years. I was supervising the departure of a flight to Paris, but we had a mechanical problem, engine change required.
Oh, shit. That's intense.
Apparently. So it was a 24-hour delay, 24 hours of delay. It was a Sunday night, and we sent all the passengers to the airport Hilton. The following day, the aircraft was ready to go, and the lady asked to speak to a supervisor.
That bitch in a day. Holy shit.
Apparently. Or they changed flights.
They said the same plane.
Okay, cool. Because she's unhappy about the delay. So I go to greet her and her husband and listen to her complaint. She claimed that her husband and she had spent the previous evening calculating the cost of grounding the aircraft, sending everyone off to the hotel with meals, and that it came out cheaper than letting the half full flight across the Atlantic. Combining both flights from Sunday and Monday. So they were saying just combining it with Sunday. They were like, just let us fly today anyway. Mm-hmm. All right. So it would have saved the company loads of cash, she says. So I stay calm and I politely explained to her that the aircraft hit a couple of birds during takeoff and that the engine was severely damaged and that needed 24 hours to change it, which is pretty standard for an L-1011.
I have no idea what that is.
I have no idea.
Never
All
heard
right,
of that.
so that's a different flight than you deal with.
Different plane.
Sure. That's when it gets weird. She pokes her husband in the ribs and starts to laugh. Oh, honey, he's trying to make me believe that the plane needs an engine to fly. The conversation lasted another 10 minutes, during which she was insulted me for taking her for a dummy because everyone knows that planes don't fly with engines. She promised me that once back home in Paris, she was going to tell all her friends about this airline and get a lawyer. To this day, I imagine this French lady in a Chanel suit sitting at a typical snotty French diner and telling her snotty friends the story of the crazy Canadian airline worker who tried to convince her planes flew with engines.
Oh my! This lady thought planes did not fly with engines.
Yeah, literally. She didn't think that they. So that's why it was long. It was very long, but at the end, it was just like, fuck, I have to keep it.
Are you fucking serious?
People are dumb. People are so dumb.
So far, that is like number one.
Number one.
Oh my god.
You have a lot of short, stupid people too. So
she legit thought the plane did not fly with engines.
She poked her husband in the side, saying, "Oh, I told you they didn't need engines." Like she was telling them her husband, who would probably know better.
That is awesome. Yes, people, planes need engines to fly. Yes, 100%. They don't just fly on wings.
Like, take a shot. Fifi's here.
Yeah.
And Lala.
So is Lala. All right, so I got a bunch of short ones. The rest of them probably be short. So American Airlines passenger described by the airlines as very unruly caused a plane to make an emergency landing after she wouldn't stop singing Whitney Houston #1 hit, I Will Always Love You.
And I
the fuck?
Will always love you.
I know this song, babe, but
okay. Just in case nobody else knows.
I don't get why that would make the plane make.
If she's screaming it on a plane and she won't stop, yeah, that's gonna ground a plane because she's psychotic.
Maybe that's how it like makes her calm down.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh fuck! I was waiting for like the reasoning why.
Arrow's being an asshole to Lala.
All right, so my next one is another, not as long, but is longer because it's hilarious. And it's titled, Who Let the Dogs Out?
Oh, wow.
Saw a lady walking with a dog on a leash. I think it was a golden retriever or something similar. Anyway, I remember thinking, I don't know that dogs were allowed to walk around in airports. Right after that thought processed my mind, the dog stopped. The lady started saying, no. And the dog just took the most massive dump I think I've ever shall see from a dog. Take. The dog must have been holding it in for a solid week or something because it was just a steady flow that built up in the most incredible poo pile. I didn't stick around, so I'm not sure how they handled the cleanup. I'm guessing a forklift was involved.
I've actually seen that. Remember we were walking, I think it was in DFW, and this man had it was like a golden retriever, I think, or something. And he was walking with his dog, and all of a sudden it just was walking, and then it just stopped and squatted and started taking a shit. But it didn't stay in that one spot. It literally was like shit walking.
See, that's what Arrow did when he was shitting in our room.
Well, yeah, but his stomach was fucked up because it was diarrhea. But anyway, this one was solid. It was just shit walking. It made like a 6-foot trail of poopies.
Did the owner notice?
Yes, the owner noticed. He was obviously watching the dog.
So why would he walk with it? Just stop.
He was in the airport. No, the dog was walking, babe.
I thought I said the owner. Did the owner
keep? The owner didn't keep going. Like he stopped because he saw the dog squat over, and it took initial shit, and then it was just walking forward, like what they all do when they take a shit. only Lala really stays in one spot. The other two, when they're taking a dump, they like walk in circles or they walk around. Fucking
That's weird.
In 2013, flight from Los Angeles to New York City was diverted to Kansas City, where the woman was escorted off the plane. Still belting out the hit song.
Oh, that's probably for the Whitney
So
song.
I think it's a continuation.
So read the next one.
That's weird. But it looks like it's two separate things. Anyone who has been on a long-haul flight may be curious if their deodorant would hold up. Oh. Many on a 2014 flight from Paris to Dallas felt a fellow passenger had this issue, and they complained to the cabin crew about the scent emanating from one man. He was subsequently asked to leave the plane. Jesus, he must have reeked.
Yeah, if people just make sure you smell okay. Shower before you get on the fucking plane.
Hey, maybe he didn't have deodorant or something. Maybe he was
I don't give two shits. Shower before you get on the plane. All right. One time when I was boarding the plane, I was denied entry. Why? Because apparently the people who checked my passport thought I stolen somebody else's passport and committed identity fraud. The photo in the passport was me when I had short hair and was boarding the plane. I had an afro. I literally had to explain for like 10 whole minutes that I was the same guy and I just grew out my hair.
The same guy. I thought it was a chick. Wow.
That sucks.
Let's see. In 2017, a man was escorted off the plane from Los Angeles to Honolulu after running around the plane, claiming he was trying to catch and kill a butterfly. Afterwards, the man pleaded guilty to chasing it through the cabin. He later admitted he was likely ill and hallucinating the whole scenario. Sure, buddy. He was on fucking drugs.
He was
on shrooms.
Real trying to get that fucking butterfly.
That's I can just imagine it.
You're gonna love this one.
Oh man, people.
All right, so I watched a guy arguing with staff for about an hour and a half because he couldn't take a gas chainsaw on as a carry-on luggage.
Oh my God. What is wrong with people?
An hour and a half arguing. Why can't I take my chainsaw on? Like, really?
Why can't I take my gas chainsaw on? Gasoline, of all things. Like, if it was electric, I mean, maybe.
No, not at all. Any chainsaw.
Either way, you're not going to take a chainsaw on a fucking plane. Flying with the kids can be hard enough on flights that go well. But one flight from Florida to Las Vegas in February 2019 was the opposite of smooth for the parents of a 3-year-old. Another passenger was apparently so mad that she was seated next to the child that she began lashing out at other passengers and the crew on the JetBlue flight. According to police, she even struck a crew member and spit on a fellow passenger. She was removed from the flight before it took off and later arrested. Holy shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be sat next to a fucking child either.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to fucking cause violence. I would hope not.
I would look at the child and I was like, I will kill you. Just like
probably shouldn't say that. Probably shouldn't say that on the podcast.
Fearing them and they won't do shit.
Probably shouldn't say. They have your name, so I don't think you should say that. Anyway, continue.
Great. The time when somebody freaked out and opened the emergency door and no one at the airport had the key to turn off the beeping.
Ooh, that's terrible.
That was a short one. That was cute.
We all like to fly first class or score an upgrade on a long flight, and it can be envious of those that do. But one JetBlue customer in 2013 was so angry that another passenger got a free upgrade that she ended up getting herself kicked off the plane. The passenger was reportedly mad because she paid for an even more space premium seat during the flight, and then another passenger who was having trouble with their in-flight TV was moved to the same section for free. She apparently became abusive to the man who was upgraded and began arguing with the crew to the point where the flight which left New York for San Diego, had to be diverted to Denver. Jesus.
She got so aggressive that it was not for free. I would just be like, bitch, do you want some booze or something? Like,
I get it. Because remember, we're on that flight that one time, and we do fly, and I do work for American, but other fucking people don't know that. So they wouldn't upgrade us or move us to an exit row because they were like, "Oh, we can't do that because like we don't want to piss off passengers." Right? Remember they said that to us.
Yeah, they said it to us. So, and I was like, "Okay, whatever."
I get it because like people that pay because like emergency seating you have to pay extra for.
Like it's $90.
Yeah, it's
like,
not.
It's not cheap. Yeah,
technically for the average person. So like I do understand, but I mean to get that irate, I mean come on.
But it's to that point. Like, just get over it.
I don't think she had her coffee that day.
She probably didn't. All right. There was this passenger who locked him or herself into the toilet and refused to come out at landing.
Wow. They did not want to meet whoever they were meeting.
She
probably
was like,
a
no.
rapey dad or something.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wow. That
quickly. Was dark.
Dealing with minimal space on a flight is something most travelers just have to endure. However, one passenger on a flight from New Jersey to Colorado in 2014 tried to keep more of his space by preventing the woman in front of him from reclining her seat. You know, I think about that all the time. Right? People are like, don't fucking recline your seat. Don't recline your seat.
And so just like put your foot
down. Like put your foot there or something. He used something called a knee defender to try to stop the chair's recline, and then refused to remove the device when a flight attendant asked him to. The woman ended up throwing a cup of water on the man, and an altercation led to the flight being diverted to Chicago, where the two passengers were removed. Oh, that's fucked up.
Both of them are.
Both of them got taken off.
Yeah, don't throw the water. Just be like, yo, is there any other space that I can recline my seat?
Damn. I mean, the woman shouldn't have thrown water on him.
Yeah, that got hostile. But the thing is,
only he would have been kicked off.
If you realize the person behind you is super tall, maybe don't recline your seat.
No, I mean, no. That is on the company for making seat space smaller.
Yeah, but also the dude. So you
or he needs a fucking upgraded seat and get an exit row or first class.
What about you? You're tall.
I deal with it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna fucking get kicked off the planes. I'm not an idiot.
All right, so I have another one.
Clearly.
We're all also about a minute from landing, and a 4 or 5 year old child needed the toilet. The mom tried to take him to the bathroom, but upon being scolded by the flight attendant, she proceeded to let the child pee in plastic bag. She then put the plastic bag in the back seat pocket and left it there for the cleaners.
Oh, shit.
Don't do that. Don't fucking do that.
Well, the flight attendant wouldn't let her go to the restroom. It's not like the kid has to go. Either the kid's going to piss himself.
Okay, when you're leaving the plane, grab that fucking bag.
Yeah, they should have grabbed it, but
Same with diapers.
She was obviously pissed off.
Same with diapers. Do not leave the diapers in the back seat pocket, bitches. I will fight you.
Taking it. All right. You're off your soapbox. All right, continuing. A woman on the flight from London to Turkey, yeah, that's the right one, in 2020, so this is recent, folks, became so unruly that she was banned from ever flying on the airplane again and was hit with jail time. The woman apparently tried to open a plane door mid-flight, causing such a disruption that the flight had to be diverted back to London. While the woman was on trial, she reportedly said that she had mixed alcohol with medication before the flight and did not really remember the incident. That's your own fucking dumbass retarded fault. Excuse my language. Her own dumbass fault. Like, don't mix if you're taking pills, don't drink alcohol. Especially flying, because I know it's something with like the altitude can change how it affects you.
100%. It can
don't
hit you
do
harder.
that.
Hits you harder. That sucked. Okay.
That's her own fucking fault.
So I have two more. I'm sure
I have one.
You have one?
Uno. Whereas remember, two of mine were the same.
Oh, true. Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm going to just read both of these and you have the last one. All right. On an SQ flight to Mumbai, the woman seated across the aisle screamed at the in-flight supervisor for serving her gin and tonic pre-mixed because she wanted to pour it in herself.
Oh, my God. Get the fuck over it.
All right, my last one, and then Ty will close us out. A Florida man was removed. Florida man was removed from a United Airlines flight in December 2021 after he attempted to skirt federal mask guidelines by wearing a woman's underwear over his face.
Oh my God.
The passenger argued that the red thong he chose to cover his nose and mouth complied with the mask mandate. He held firm that the mandate was silly, and so he was being silly in response. United Airlines didn't find it funny, though, and he was removed from the flight before it took off from Florida to Washington,
that's
DC.
pretty fucking funny.
That was really funny.
Not to get on this touchy subject, but the whole mask mandate, I did not believe in it. I'm sorry for the people that did believe in it. I did get COVID one time. And granted, I wore a mask. I did not wear a mask whenever I could. I did not go to the extent of like arguing with people if they asked me to put on a mask. Yeah, I tried to one time, but you told me not to.
Yeah.
Because I was being very snarky, and I put my mask on. I was not happy because like masks, like the fucking fabric in it, like just bothers me. And so I did not like wearing a mask. But yeah, I only got COVID once. But it's just like, so him doing that, like I could see myself doing that.
Yeah, because you're.
But I did not, and because I try to like cater to the public, I guess, to an extent.
Really?
No.
What public are you trying to cater to? Because the public I'm in, you're a chaotic mess.
You saw through my bullshit, didn't you?
Yes, I'm your wife. Fuck.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, my love. That's why I love you. All right, so last but not least.
You're just going to smooth over that.
Yeah, because it's an hour and 21 minutes right now.
All right, last one.
A family was asked to get off a 2017 JetBlue flight from Florida to New York. Have y'all realized that a lot of these
are JetBlue,
are like JetBlue, and a lot of them are like, you know, from going east to like west. It's like Jersey, or this one like New York. It's like over in that region.
Just read it.
Calm down. New York, after an altercation that reportedly began with a couple's 1-year-old child was kicking the seat in front of him. The parents alleged they exchanged words with the person who was being kicked, and that person changed seats. But a flight attendant later came and told them they needed to get off the plane. JetBlue said that the parents were removed for allegedly making threats, but the couple disputed that report, saying they were kicked off because of their baby's actions. So which one is it? Were they making
I think
threats?
The kid was kicking the fucking seat, and the guy turned around and was like, hey.
Okay, first of all.
No, let me finish. He turned around and said, hey, can you have your kid stop kicking my seat? And they're like, fuck you, you bitch. And they got aggressive, and that's why they got kicked off.
But that's 100% the kid's fault and the parents' fault for not stopping their kid from kicking the chair. That man paid just like that family did.
Right.
He owns a right to that seat in that moment during that flight, and that is disruptive. Their 1-year-old kicking that man's seat.
The same with the kids crying, screaming. Put your hand over their kid screaming.
I mean, no, you can't put your hand because that could potentially choke them. No, you cannot.
Not choke them. Don't cover
just
screaming.
No, it comes down to discipline. People nowadays, because for some reason,
we're getting a soapbox. Do you want? Wait, guys.
I'm on mine.
Wait, guys.
Are not disciplining their kids.
2 seconds. I'm going to shove the soapbox under you.
You're going to shove my face down there? That's fine.
Soapbox under your feet. Can you step on it? He just did.
Soapbox.
Okay. Now, we're on a soapbox.
These are freaking parents that are not disciplining their kids. Like, I don't care if they came out with a law, which it might be, I don't know, saying that you cannot spank your kids. I don't give two shits. If my kid is being bad and I told him once, hey, don't do that or you're going to get a spanking, and they do it again, guess what? they're going to get a fucking spanking. Timeouts don't work. Sitting in a corner does not work. Don't talk to me like that does not work. Spank your fucking kids. So if our kid was on a flight and it was kicking the person in front of it, guess what? Like, do that again and we're going to the bathroom and I'm going to show you how it feels. They do it again, we're going to the bathroom and that kid is getting a fucking beating.
Can I just say, on Reddit, somebody kind of reamed out Kelly Clarkson because she spanked her 1-year-old.
Dude, those people
Good job, Kelly Clarkson.
Those people that fucking believe and not spanking, excuse my language.
You're the problem.
Excuse my language, but go to hell. That is what is the reason why society is so fucked up nowadays. I am not going to get completely into this because it is like a touchy subject for some people, but
email us. We will talk
back
about
in the day, there wasn't a whole bunch of this shit going. I mean, okay, I get it. If like a family member is going above and beyond and they're very abusive, that is different. But I'm just talking about, you know, using your hand or belt and like giving a few
lashings,
like, you know, good spankings is okay.
Just
like,
one spanking.
Don't
even.
go fucking ham biscuits and like hit your kid in the head and the back and just all over the place.
We're talking about booties.
Spank them on the butt.
We're talking about booty spanks.
Simple, simple, simple. You don't have to pull their pants down. You can hit them with clothes on. They'll fucking feel it. Like, you don't need to beat your kid.
See,
I would never beat my kid because I won't need to.
When my dad, okay, so going back to my childhood, my dad was abusive / disciplinarian. Like, he would discipline us when we needed to be disciplined, but also be aggressive with it. He's grown out of it, but because he found Jesus, apparently.
Well, yeah, for one, your dad can't beat you right now anyway.
Yeah, he can't chase me. So, but when I remember as a kid, like when we fucked up, he would tell us not to do something. And if we did it, he'd be like, there are consequences.
Yeah.
And so he would spank us. We had a paddle and he would spank us. And it's like each infraction would be 3 spanks with the paddle. It was only 3 spanks. It was not a beating. It was punishment.
Punishment, exactly.
And so we would be like crying. We'd be like, oh my God, oh my God. No. And then there were times when he would do other things. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to like infringe my dad, but like there's a difference between spankings and beatings. And I know exactly the line.
Beatings, not acceptable.
Beatings are not acceptable. I know exactly the line. So if you ever come at me and be like, oh, that's beating your child. No, honey. I know what the difference between beating and hitting because my dad used to kick me in the face. So
yeah, I would never beat my kid. Like they would know they're going to get a spanking for punishment reasons only, not for dominance, not for power, not for my own sexual pleasure. Like, no.
Oh God, hopefully not.
Fucking sick. I would punish them. That's the proper term. Once I give them a warning, don't do that again. You're going to get a spanking.
So that was a terrible story to end on because now we're all riled up and we're just like, fuck everything.
Well, it's because like I hear it from so many people. Like at work, you tell me too. Like from what you heard, like apparently it's like
it's not okay to say no to your kid.
It's not okay to like spank your kid nowadays.
No, kids need boundaries. Like that's how are they going to learn?
Ridiculous.
And so now we have a bunch of kids running around that don't have boundaries. So that's where we're getting a lot of serial killers and assholes. So
yeah, it's like if you let your kid do whatever the fuck they want, they kill a cat. And you're like, oh, you know what? Like go sit in a corner. Then I'm like, okay, I can do that. What else can I do? And then it just escalates from there. Like, just discipline your kids, people.
Yeah, please. However you choose it, but just discipline them. Make sure they understand that what they're doing is wrong. We don't care if you spank them or not. Just discipline. We choose to spank, but that's our prerogative, not yours. All right, we're going to move on from this topic.
Yes, because we are almost at an hour and 30 minutes, folks. Sorry, it is super long.
Another one. God damn it. I hope you guys have a long week or something. So next episode, we are going to do We're Not Qualified. Hopefully it's a lot more peppy than this one. But we're not qualified. So you know where to reach us. inforthenight69@gmail.com or inforthenightpodcast.com, and just go to the contact thing, and you can reach us there. Let us know any of your questions, confessions. If you want to tell us a story, We'll read it. Let's do it. Just reach us there. But Lur or
G-Dawgarino.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
God bless America.
G-Dawgarino. What else can you find on our website?
Patreon and merchandise. Right, Fifi Beans.
Fifi is on us, so take another shot. I'm sorry you didn't get a lot of shots today, but last episode you got a lot of shots.
So today they were being pretty chill today. Like Arrow's just playing with his little horn. He's chewing on it and licking it right now, and Fifi is in my lap. So,
but anyway, so I hope that we gave you a reason to stay in for the night.
And until next time, peeps, peace out.